ASMR show. I hope everyone's having a great day so far. Well, I'm actually recording this at night. But anyway, welcome to the Metal ASMR show. This is my first recording ever. I'm very excited to start chatting with you guys. So I guess I have a few things I want to talk about today, but I guess it's more so about introductions than anything. So this is my first ASMR video ever, and in terms of like ASMR, I'm a pretty like laid back guy in terms of ASMR. Like, I don't like anything too crazy, so if you're looking for like specific triggers or anything, I probably won't be able to help you with that. But if you just feel like listening to me whisper for a while, then you're in the right spot. I mean, I'm sure I'll try things out at some point down the line, but I would just watch guys like play video games or do just really mundane tasks and whisper, and I was like, hey, I could probably do that. And I've really gotten into ASMR over the past like 6 months. So on Amazon Prime Day, I actually bought a microphone. I don't think it's the most high quality microphone in the world, but you know, just doing this for a hobby or something to do. So hopefully it suits your needs. It's kind of weird to me that if, you know, you're watching this video, it's my voice that you're going to be falling asleep to. That's, or just relaxing to, or doing whatever to. I usually use ASMR to fall asleep, and I think that's what a lot of people do, but, you know, sometimes it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, damn, that would be nice right now. But, anyway, I'll probably do, like, some gaming videos is a big thing I want to do. I named myself Metal ASMR just because I couldn't think of what to name myself, and I like metal music, so that's just kind of, well, I like more than metal music, but I guess metal's like my thing right now. So that's where the name comes from. I can't imagine doing anything with metal would be very ASMR-like in terms of like actual metal, not the music, like smashing metal bars together and stuff. But yeah, so I will probably do some gaming videos, probably do some things with like some Legos. Like, I've seen a lot of ASMR Lego videos that I think are really neat, and even if it's no talking, just hearing the pieces kind of cling around and snap together is really nice. I'll probably do talking just because I like to talk too much. And also, I really liked the idea of having a show where I just sit here and ramble about whatever's going on in the world, or in my life, or whatever. I think that'll probably be a weekly thing. I hope. I mean, everything else, I have no idea. This is, like I said, this is just me rambling right now, but these are my introductions. I guess if I'm making my first video ever and you happen to stumble upon it and listen to it, you should know who I am. Or if you find it at some point, this is me. So yeah, I also like history a lot. I majored in it in college. It's also horrifying to say that I majored in it in college. Like, college is over, you know. But so I could make videos regarding that. There's still a lot on the table to figure out. But, you know, being a YouTube channel, if you guys have any suggestions or anything you'd like to hear, then please let me know. Because I'm an open book. Like I said, I'm not really doing anything too crazy. I'm a pretty plain and simple guy when it comes to ASMR. But who knows, maybe you guys will inspire me to do something new, which is hard to do, but, you know, it took me a long time to get the courage to do something like this, because I used to have a YouTube channel, you know, when I was younger, as everyone else did, and I've always enjoyed making content and making videos, whether it's just for my friends or putting it out on YouTube. But at some point along the line in high school, I lost the confidence in myself to put things out there because, being in high school, all everyone wants to do is fit in and be cool, myself included. So I kind of stopped putting myself out there as much, but now that high school is so many years behind me, I don't really give a shit anymore. So we're doing it, man. We're out here doing it. Let me take a sip of water real quick, because this stuff really gets your mouth dry, doesn't it? I also have no idea how sensitive this mic actually is, so if you heard that go down my throat really detailed and you liked it, good. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. This probably is also going to be a figuring things out video, because I haven't really used this microphone that much. I got it a few days ago, and I've never had a microphone that wasn't just connected to one of my headsets, so playing around with this thing has been interesting, to say the least. I mean, it sounded good, and my friends said it sounded good, so hopefully it translates to ASMR and stuff. So anyway, that's me. I'm hoping you guys enjoy what's going on. I have no idea how soothing my voice sounds to other people, but I mean, I've been told I have a nice voice sometimes. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm also open to constructive criticism, and we'll say, just don't comment and be a dick about things, but, I'm new to this whole scene, and I've only been, consistently listening to ASMR for a couple of months, so if anyone is an ASMR veteran in the comment section, please, I'm open to suggestions and criticism. But that's me. That was 7 minutes of me rambling, not really knowing what to say, but there are some things actually metal music related. Sorry, was that really loud? Oh my god, I should probably check that. Okay, we're good. I just wanted to go back and double check that my chair moving wasn't too loud, but anyway, what I wanted to talk about was the Pantera tribute reunion tour that's happening in 2023, because it's got the metal community pretty divided. I have mixed feelings about it. And I'm saying so much because I'm thinking about what to say, because it's hard. Because it's hard to have Pantera without the Abbott brothers. It's hard to have Pantera without Dimebag and without Vinnie Paul. They were a large part. They were 50% of Pantera, but I think a lot of people have to recognize that Phil Anselmo and Rex Brown are both just as much members of Pantera as Dimebag and Vinnie were. I know the drama in the band separated them because of Phil Anselmo's antics with drugs and other things, and I know that Vinnie Paul had said that he would not have wanted a Pantera reunion, which is a valid reason to not want the Pantera reunion. But at the end of the day, I think Phil and Rex have the right to go out and tour, and I think they picked great substitutes, especially for Dimebag. Picking Zakk Wylde to be the Dimebag fill-in was a excellent choice. Not only because they were good friends, but just because Zakk Wylde is a maniac on the guitar, and the way he plays, I could totally see him being able to replicate Dimebag's riffs very, very well. Now the drummer, I don't know too much about. I don't even know his name off the top of my head. But I believe he's the drummer for Anthrax. I don't know if he's the original drummer or if he's a drummer that's come onto the band. I don't know too much about Anthrax. I like Anthrax. I'm actually recently just been getting into them. But I don't know his abilities. I know my dad, who is a metal head through and through, and a drummer, loves Vinnie Paul and says he's like one of the best heavy metal drummers of all time. And I actually showed Pantera to my cousin recently, who's kind of into rock music, but more so into the rap side of things. And I was like, "You want to hear some real shit?" And I forgot what song I played him, but he was just very impressed with how Vinnie Paul is playing the drums. So if the only two people in my life that play drums are impressed with how he plays drums, then I'm sure Vinnie Paul, was a great drummer. I don't know anything about the guy from Anthrax. I don't know if he'll be able to fill the shoes of Vinnie Paul. I know to most people he probably won't be able to. But, at the end of the day, I think Phil and Rex have a right to go tour. And I think they did, getting tongue-tied. They went about the process well. They picked great substitutes. They went to the Abbott estate and made sure it was okay with the estate, and they gave them the green light. I believe even Dimebag's girlfriend said something involving it, like saying that this is what Dimebag would have wanted. I could be making that up. I remember seeing an article that Dimebag's girlfriend, from when he died, her wife or whoever it was, I'm significantly younger than when this music was happening, so forgive me if I don't have the details exactly correct, because most of it is just from research and stories being told, but I think it was his girlfriend or wife at the time he died, said that eventually Dimebag and Phil would have made up, and if he didn't die the way he did, and he would have wanted this to happen. So if they have the blessings from the family, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell them no, because they are also as much members of Pantera as the Abbott brothers were. They were on they were even on before Cowboys from Hell. They were on, obviously Dimebag and Diamond, Daryl and Vinny were back in their glam metal phase, but I believe Phil Anselmo was in Metal Magic, who was at their last glam metal album before they went to Cowboys from Hell. So, if they were all there before Cowboys, so that's Pantera. Whatever happened before Cowboys, in my mind, it's if you were there before then you're definitely an OG of the band, and you should have as much of a say as Dimebag or Vinny did. And I don't think it's disrespectful to Dimebag or Vinny. I think it's being misconstrued, because Rex and Phil have said that it is a tribute tour with their friends to remember Pantera and give a good show. And a lot of the rock and metal outlets, for lack of a better term, all of the rock and metal outlets, for lack of a better term, we're calling it a reunion tour, which I don't think that is the intention of the tour. I don't think it's supposed to be a reunion. I don't think they think it's a reunion. I think they think it's a tribute, and I'm sure, honestly, Rex and Phil are probably not hurting for money, but because they have their own things going on. I think Rex just had a bass come out, and Phil has his many side projects. I know he has a show called A Vulgar Display of Pantera with Phil Anselmo and the Illegals. So, Phil's probably been playing this for a long time. I think I've never seen a Phil Anselmo and the Illegals show, and I don't think I ever will, because I have no interest in that. But seeing him play with Rex and Zach Wilde and the drummer from Anthrax, that's good stuff. That's very exciting to me. So that was the main thing I wanted to talk about. I figured that would get me started, and then I would just kind of roll on from there. So, I guess another kind of video I'd like to do would be like I collect music. Like, I collect a lot of things. I'm kind of a materialism dork. But also collect video games. So going through my CD and vinyl collection would be pretty cool. I don't have as many metal albums as I would like because, like I said, I'm into more music than just metal. Like I like 90s grunge rock. That's classic rock. I mean, if I had to choose two subgenres of rock and roll and metal that I would describe my music taste as, it would probably be grunge and thrash metal, which I know is kind of ironic considering that grunge kind of, I don't want to say killed metal, but had a significant influence in the way metal turned out. But, I like them both. I'm not really a big fan of, like, new metal, like Linkin Park and Papa Roach and Limp Bizkit. I do like Rage, but Rage is just awesome. Rage Against the Machine, in case someone's listening, and to me, rant about metal music, it doesn't know Rage Against the Machine. Great band. But I don't really like the new metal wave that much. I don't like death metal, deathcore, whatever. I don't mind a little screaming. Obviously, I've been talking about Pantera for the past, 5 minutes, but I think there's a elegance is a horrible word, but play along. I think there's an elegance to Philip Anselmo's voice that it's definitely aggressive and it can definitely be screaming sometimes, but I think he knows how to wield it in a way that doesn't just come off as like guttural noises. And I know a lot of people are fans of like the guttural, scratchy, disgusting metal that if you ever tried to do it, you'd rip your vocal cords in half, and I can respect that. But to me, I don't want to say it's talentless, because if I tried to do what those guys would do, I would seriously hurt myself. There's talent behind it for sure. But I guess I can appreciate more of like a Metallica kind of like take on vocals. I mean, not that James Hetfield is especially young James Hetfield when he had that really high-pitched voice, is a great singer either, but I would rather hear my metal singer sing than just kind of scratch their throat, But that's no disrespect to anyone that likes that kind of metal. It's just my personal taste. I have a good friend at college that's really into a lot of that shit. Slayer isn't in the death metal camp, but what's funny is that a lot of people that like death metal will also like Slayer. It's weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe someone, if you're interested, can explain to me the connection between Slayer and death metal, because I really don't understand it. It's almost like Slayer's a classic thrash metal band. A lot of people consider them to be one of the best, with Rain in Blood. But it almost seems like they're in their own category compared to like the big four, like Anthrax, Metallica, and Megadeth. I don't really understand why they're so separated. I like Slayer. Slayer could be a bit much for me sometimes. I guess I'm a plain Jane metal listener. I don't know. My girlfriend would disagree. She thinks the first time she ever heard Enter Sandman, she referred to it as serial killer music. And as anyone who listens to metal music knows, that Enter Sandman, I mean, if you were talking to a serious metalhead and you said that your favorite song was Enter Sandman, they might punch you in the face. Enter Sandman is a notoriously poppy Metallica song, and well, I mean, it's off the Black Album, so anything off of that, if you said your favorite, well, first of all, if you said your favorite metal band was Metallica, they'd probably punch you in the face. For context, my favorite metal band is Metallica. And I haven't been punched in the face yet, but to any of my newfound metalheads or newfound Metallica enjoyers, you will not fit in for the most part. Pretty much every metalhead I have ever talked to, with the exception of my father, have said that Metallica is horrible, and just because they sold out. I mean, they became the world's biggest metal band, and then cut their hair and started making kind of traditional rock music. Well, I wouldn't call it traditional. See, this is what I thought was going to happen. I'm just going to start ranting about. I don't even remember how this started beyond the Pantera reunion. But Metallica, I understand people that say they sold out because they did. Of course they did. I mean, for fuck's sake, a week ago, Master of Puppets, a 40-year-old song, was in the Billboard Top 100 with no radio play, just because Stranger Things had it on their show. And now it's everywhere. My aunt was playing a radio on I don't know if it was Spotify or what, but it was called like barbecue radio. It's just pretty much a bunch of shitty pop hits from the 70s all the way to today. They're like classic rock hits, quote unquote hits. There's only so many times that I can hear "Have you ever seen the rain?" I swear to God. Anyway, and long story short, Master of Puppets came on, and I'm the only real metalhead on that side of the family. And I was like, wait, rewind that, because, there's no such thing as live radio anymore. You can rewind everything. And it was the intro to Master of Puppets. Sorry about the cut again. I heard a noise upstairs, and I thought it was going to be loud. Anyway, I guess I should really trust the noise canceling in this thing. But, yeah. So, it was the intro to Master of Puppets, and I was, like, blown away, because it's Metallica, Master of Puppets. Not that Metallica is like a crazy thing to hear on the radio anymore, but on this modern hits, like, playlist or whatever, radio, whatever it was awesome. It gave me a lot of validation. But yeah, people say Metallica sold out, which they did, because they're just great. And I also, like I said, I'm not a purist, right? I'm not a metal purist, so I enjoy other kinds of music. So like, if I'm in the mood to listen to like Nirvana or something like that, or Pearl Jam, or some sort of 90s hard rock, or Guns N' Roses. I mean, Guns N' Roses isn't grunge, but I'm saying, like a hard rock, like, type of thing. Songs off of Load and Reload are perfect. Like, Ain't My Bitch is an awesome song. Hero of the Day is an awesome song. 2x4 is an awesome song. Mama Said is not an awesome song. That song is dog shit. So, if for any Metallica haters that are listening to me speak, you got one on me. Mama Said is a terrible fucking song. I don't know why James Hetfield, after the Black Album, decided to put on this, like, cowboy persona. I mean, he still does it. When they did that TikTok with, mimicking, or, what's it called? Duetting. I don't have TikTok. Duetting the Stranger Things guitar solo. He was wearing a cowboy hat with flip-flops. That is a sin. That's it. Okay, so you have two on me. James Hetfield wearing a cowboy hat with flip-flops. And Mama Said. I wish he never took on that persona, because I think if they made that kind of music but kept their hair long and kept the metal, like, look, and they kept the metal persona as opposed to going, when Load came out, they cut their hair, and then they cut their hair, and they started wearing, some of them started wearing eyeliner. Oh, also, Lars does suck. I don't know anything about drumming, like I said, but I just don't like Lars that much. I think he's very pompous, and I think from the get-go, when they started making music, his goal was to be famous and be part of, like, the aristocracy. I don't think he was ever as heavy metal as he claims to be. I think Load and Reload were his end goal from the start. Now, I know that James and Lars have, they have writing credits on every single song, but it's just something in him that I don't trust, and I feel like he would have done whatever he had to do to get to where he deserve it. I guess Metallica does kind of deserve it, but I hate the term anyway. I think his plan was to do whatever he had to do to get to be some sort of like icon, celebrity, and I have a feeling that not every metal person goes into making that kind of music, especially in the early 80s with that attitude. Like, everyone wants to make it, yeah, but I think Lars wants to be on the talk shows every night, wants the spotlight on him all the time. He wants to have his voice heard. He wants to be the guy. He wants to be the man. I don't trust him. I just watching like old Metallica videos and seeing him on stage and seeing him on like late night shows or whatever. He just irks me. I don't know why. And as a diehard Metallica fan, it's very unusual for me to be saying that I don't like Lars, but I don't. Like I said, I find him to be just schemy. I don't know. I feel like he's the type of guy to fuck his best friend's girlfriend. I don't know why. That might be too out of pocket, but this is my show. God damn it, I say what I want. Apologies if you heard that. My cat is running around upstairs at 1,000,000 miles an hour. But yeah, Metallica is my favorite metal band. Although, and if I have to say I had a favorite member of Metallica, I don't even know who I could say. I mean, James is obviously one of my favorite people of all time, but I have a real soft spot for the bass players that came after Cliff Burton in Metallica, because fuck me, did Jason Newsted have a hard time in that band. And if they never had Jason in that band, they probably never would have made it to where they are today. Like, Jason took all the shit and grieving from the death of Cliff. And for context, for people that don't know anything about Metallica, Cliff Burton was the original bass player for Metallica. He was on the first 3 albums, and then he passed away in a bus crash. The driver of their bus on a European tour, I've heard multiple stories. I've heard he fell asleep at the wheel. He claims he hit black ice, but whatever happened, long story short, the bus flipped over and Cliff went flying out the window, and in some horrible stroke of misfortune, he flew out the window, and then the bus landed on him and crushed him, which is just absurd. And then they didn't know if he was dead. I mean, it's pretty safe to assume he was dead, but then they lifted the bus to try to get the bus off of him, obviously, and it failed, and it slammed back down and crushed him again. So, if it wasn't dead the first time, the double tap certainly got him. But, Cliff was these guys, Metallica's brothers, so Jason Newsted gets hired, and he's from Flotsam and Jetsam, I believe, and then he has to fill those shoes, and he got all sorts of beat up and stuff, but he took the grieving from the band, and then he made the band realize all of their faults when he quit. Like, when he quit, they all had to look at themselves and be like, what are we doing wrong? I mean, this was after Reload, too. I mean, there's a lot of things that contributed to that breakup. But, yeah. And then Rob Trujillo, I don't know how to pronounce his last name properly, but I have such a soft spot for him because he just seems like such a wicked cool dude. You know, with the long hair down to his ass. He's like almost 60, I think, maybe mid-50s, something like that. Not gray hair on him. And he just plays the bass so low, it's disgusting. Has the bass down by his knees, just slapping away. The fact that he can finger pick Metallica songs is incredible. I don't know if he finger picks every song. I'd imagine some songs would be pretty hard to do. But, you know. Anyway, yeah. I guess my favorite Metallica member would probably either be Jason, who is no longer in the band, or Rob. Just because I have a soft spot for bass players in general. Like Les Claypool, amazing. I love Les Claypool. I'm trying to think of other bass players. I'm Lemmy, but everyone loves Lemmy for other reasons. Man, I'm really blanking on bass players I like right now. Just in general. I guess that can be a topic. I'll compile all of my favorite bass players in a list, and I'll go through them one by one. Just kidding. I wouldn't actually do that. That sounds horrible. That sounds like a horrible thing to listen to. Although, if you don't like music or metal music, this has probably been pretty horrible to listen to past the first 7 minutes, but, you know, it's what I wanted to talk about. Sorry. If you heard that, I don't know what that was. So, yeah, Metallica's my favorite metal band. I also enjoy Megadeth quite a bit. Dave Mustaine is certainly a human being that exists. He's a very interesting man. Obviously, I like Pantera because we were talking about Pantera. Who else do I really like? I promise I listen to like a lot more music than I'm leading off, but it's pretty late at night. My brain is pretty fried, so the information is not coming back to me as quick as I would like it. And also trying to talk and think is much harder than I thought it was going to be. This is actually pretty hard to do. I mean, obviously, it's not like hard to do, but like trying to come up with things to say while I'm talking and thinking. What other metal bands do I like? Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Metallica, Megadeth. I mean, I said I like Slayer. I like Pantera. Dude, I actually have to look at my phone right now and like tell you what bands I like because I can't think of them. Anthrax, Testament, Exodus, Motley Crue and thrash, but you know, Exodus is awesome. I fucking love Exodus. Ozzy Osbourne, obviously, Sabbath, Overkill, Priest, Maiden. Who else do we got here? AC/DC isn't metal, but, you know, you can throw them in there. It's early metal, I guess, if you wanted to call it that. Avenged Sevenfold's alright. That's mainly a nostalgia thing for me. Five Finger Death Punch. Just kidding. Anyone who knows metal music knows that Five Finger Death Punch is kind of a joke of a band. I sound like I have no idea what I'm talking about in terms of metal because it took me like 3 minutes to think of Exodus and Testament, which are two very popular bands. Well, used to be. Death Angel is another good one. I will come with more calculated thoughts next time, but it's currently 10:35 at night and I worked all day, so my brain is pretty fried. I thought it might have been good therapy to do this late at night, just while it's quiet and no one's up and moving, but maybe I was mistaken. Like I said, I will come with more compiled thoughts on my next video. This is just kind of me rambling and just getting myself the courage to put myself out there and do one of these videos again, or do any sort of video. But I believe we can call it there. I believe coming up on 35 minutes, you know, I think that's a pretty solid first video. I think if you guys have any comments, criticisms, whatever, leave them in the description. I know that description, wow, dummy, in the comment section. I know that this isn't going to be perfect because it's my first video, but I also will have more like themed videos after this one. Like I said, video games, history stuff. I like Legos and my collections of stuff. Anything dorky, really. Whether it be video games or music or, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together because I'm hoping to build a community here. And that we can all like and respect each other and kind of navigate life, I guess. Maybe that should be the point of this talk show. Maybe it should be like a life motivational talk show. I don't think I'd be very good at that considering how young I am. If you're in your 40s, I can't tell you what to do. But anyway, yeah, thank you for listening to my first video, guys, or my first show. I really appreciate it. If you stuck all the way through, you guys are awesome. Please like the video and subscribe if you would like to see more. And yeah, guys, it's been Metal ASMR, signing off.